What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode number 3 today of our career mode, the player career mode. We're here today to play another few games for you. You can probably tell as well. I don't know what's happened to me. Out of nowhere, I have managed to somehow end up with a cold. Which isn't ideal because you may or may not know, obviously, tomorrow, as you're watching this on a Thursday, is actually my birthday. So I would appreciate it if I didn't have to be fighting a cold over on my birthday. But that seems to be the case today. And we'll try, obviously, as I said, to get through this a little bit. I did want to do this live, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to do it post because I just simply couldn't sit there with my throat the way it was and speak for, a full live episode, which can be upwards of anywhere in the region of 40+ minutes of talking. So I decided to do it post, and we'll condense it down into a shorter version. We've got 4 games for you to watch, 3 in the Championship, and also a trip, or rather a visit, I should say, of Liverpool, because they are coming to Pride Park to face us in the Carabao Cup in the later stages of today. So the first game, though, was pretty good. It was against Blackburn. We were at home at Pride Park, and things started really well. Mason Mount scoring the first goal of the game here with that finish. I'm going to assume that was a time finish from Mason Mount. That's the first time thing. And as you guys know, it is, of course, new to the game, but obviously it's a little bit broken at the moment, time finishing, especially finesse shots. Edge the areas, that might be how we grab a few more goals. Again, I apologise if I have to cough at any stage during the commentary. I can feel one coming on now, but obviously I'll try and cut it out as best I can. But yeah, bear with me, guys. So Mason Mount's first opening goal of the episode made sure that we would take the lead in the game. But Blackburn were a resilient side, and they weren't just going to go down easily, even with them playing away from home today. You can see, though, what it meant to good old Frankie on the touchline. He got up to applaud that one from Mason. Like I said in the last episode, Frank's clearly had a little bit of cosmetic surgery done to change the way he appears. But there we go. Blackburn, as I said, wouldn't just lie over and take this one. They wanted to come back. Adam Armstrong on the left-hand side put a cross in for Ben Brereton to head it goalwards. But his header was weak and tame and straight at Scott Carson. Quite interested with the attack from Blackburn. Ben Brereton and Adam Armstrong, two pretty decent forwards. We were eventually, though, able to grab ourselves a goal as well. Really nicely worked chance, this one. The ball coming into us in the box, and we didn't even take a touch before we fired it into the bottom corner, courtesy of the post. Wasn't a lot of pace on the ball, but we didn't need it. The pace was on the pass. All we had to do was effectively direct it whichever way we wanted to, and that's exactly what we were able to do. You can see as well, I wasn't actually sure whether or not this was actually going to go in, because when we put it there, I was a little bit like, that's actually going to hit the post, but then I was a little bit unsure as to whether or not it was going to drop in or if it was going to come back out. And the celebration there as Joe Ledley comes over to congratulate us for scoring our 3rd goal of our career so far before he left the field of play. And largely, there was not much time for Blackburn to do much else in the game. We had one last opportunity late on, tried to take it on the weaker right foot, and in the end, made a hash of things. Should have tried to really square that or get it back on the left if we could have done, but it didn't matter because the 2-0 win was in for us. We got ourselves the win that we came for, and obviously as well come away with the 3 points from that one too. On the score sheet for one, and Mason Mount getting the other one, a 2-0 win as well. And after the pretty horrendous start we had, I'm quite glad to accept those points on a plate. You can see as well, there wasn't really a lot that happened during the game according to the match highlights there. Didn't really show much to be able to show us in terms of chances. But the second game then was Brentford, and I think actually all of these barring the last game of the episode were played at Pride Park today. So a triple header at home, decent. I honestly didn't actually realise that until now as we take on Brentford at Pride Park. Again, a really tough game, this one. Very much like Blackburn, they're not just going to sit there and expect us to walk rings around them. Not sure what I was trying to say there. But even so, if we get going, we've seen that we do have the capabilities within the side to create chances. We need to take them as well. Martin Waghorn still waiting his turn on the bench in place of us. But it only took 5 minutes for the first chance to present itself. We were the player to watch according to that little graphic there popping up. We played a pass out to the left. The header was won. And Anya got in there just ahead of the goalkeeper to give it a derby lead here at Pride Park. Brentford's keeper clearly was not happy with his defenders. Now, I have to say, I fully agree with him. They lost the first header. They don't react quick enough. He tries to get off his line to stop it. You can see he's already unsure about what he's doing because he kind of thought he was going to come originally when we were going to play it over the top, but we didn't because we went to the other side, and then Anya just literally pokes a toe at it and says, I'm going to try and get there as quick as I can. And the keeper, unfortunately for him, gets us something on it, but not enough to be able to push it out. And Derby County take the lead here. And the pressure continued to mount. We weren't much more into the game before we found another chance. But then a decent save from the Brentford goalkeeper denied us the second. And we didn't actually, well, we weren't able to get it until the second half, when it was again pretty much all Derby. The ball through here on the right-hand side towards a substitute. Can't remember exactly who it was who'd come on. And now I do, but I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because I know for a fact I'll get it wrong. Everyone will laugh at me in the comment section. And even though as well I'm all bunged up in terms of my nose, it'll just sound funny me trying to pronounce a name that I'm just not going to get right, unfortunately. So, yeah, good finish. Can't really fault him for that, but it was a nice move again from Derby, who'd pretty much all but secured their 3 points now, with the number 11 finishing off that move. Now, I'm going to have to try and learn his name, because not only did he score that one, he got himself another one. A really, really nicely taken one this time. Have a look at this. The ball comes over to him, and that is a high-quality finish. Doesn't have a lot of the goal to aim for, but my goodness me, does he take it very well indeed. Derby 3, Brentford 0. I was surprised by the current scoreline. Not going to lie to you guys. I expecting a lot better from this Brentford side. But they've come here today and been outplayed by Frank Lampard and Derby County, because that is a quality finish. We weren't done there, though. One more opportunity in the game for us to try and get ourselves something. Again, it's a Derby attack, and I thought we might get on the score sheet here. As you can see, the ball played through to us. We knocked the ball in front of us, realised we can't get the shot off, so I tried to square it instead across the face of goal. And from a very, very tight angle, our number 11 had completed his hat-trick with the finish. Derby 4, Brentford 0. And it was a whitewash in the end here at Pride Park. As I said earlier, before kick-off, I expected Brentford to come here and not sit back. They wouldn't accept just as running rings around them. But it's actually turned out that way indeed. As a really nice finish again from that right winger there on your screen. 4-0 with him scoring a hat-trick as well. No time for Brentford to get themselves on the score sheet. So ultimately, not only is it a bad defeat in terms of the goals conceded, they didn't actually get themselves on the score sheet. And Florian, which is what we're going to call him, is the man to actually get himself the match ball. I'm sure I could have a go at the surname. I'd just get it wrong, so I'm not even going to even bother. But there you go then. Very, very good result indeed. And like I said, that was obviously us building something now, because at the start of the season, the draws that we had, the defeat that then we got, we didn't start off the greatest, but now we've got to climb our way back up. The start of the series as well, we spoke about the fact that we want to try and take a team up to the Premier League this season instead of trying to transfer away. That still stands. And I feel like Derby have got the capabilities to get themselves into the Premier League come the next season. Now, as the visit of Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, we were picked for this one, so I decided to play it. Florian was also picked as well, because of the fact that he did in fact score that hat-trick, so you can understand why. But it was actually him who gave the ball away for the first chance of the game to Liverpool. Mane then makes our defence look like a mug. Firmino finds Salah, his touch, his finish on the right foot opens up the scoring for Liverpool. Now, I didn't mean to do this, but I accidentally skipped. I skipped the replay of this goal, which I actually didn't mean to do, because it was a class finish from Mohamed Salah here. I'm not going to deny that and say it wasn't. It was worthy of Salah, but I was expecting him to maybe cut on his left foot rather than go with the right instead. So he shows his right. It worked out brilliantly, and actually for the first time in the series we were substituted. Martin Waghorn coming on. We hadn't really made an impact in the first half, and then we only got 13 minutes of the second to try and do anything, and we weren't able to do that. So Waghorn was the substitution made, and for the first time in the series, Frank has taken us off and decided that he wanted Waghorn to come on in our place. Hopefully that's just a one-off and it's not a sign of things to come. But ultimately for Jurgen Klopp's men, it was them heading through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, courtesy of Mohamed Salah's strike. A 1-0 win here, enough to get themselves through to the next round of this cup. Lucky for us, though, is that it doesn't actually particularly matter, because my focus isn't on the Carabao Cup. Our focus is on the league itself. We didn't even have a shot, by the way, in that game against Liverpool. It just highlights their dominance during the game and what we really lacked going forward. So I'm not surprised we were taken off for Mason Mount. Last game of the episode, though, guys, comes against Bolton. It's an away trip for once. We've had 3 home games today. Now we're going to be travelling away from home to play this last game. And I'm not going to lie, I have struggled with this commentary today. So I did actually have a video planned later on. It was another episode of the Brighton Career Mode, but I'm going to actually have to do that commentary at a later date, guys, because honestly, I am struggling with this one. But nevertheless, I will give you that tomorrow. So 4 p.m. tomorrow, we'll have another episode of the Brighton career mode, and then we'll follow that up with another episode of the My Player career mode as well. So I apologize in advance. There's going to be no double upload today, but that is because I am kind of a little bit struggling here doing this commentary right now with the way it is. I'm hoping I will have cleared this overnight. I'm going to get myself off to bed early tonight and take something for it, and hopefully I'll wake up feeling refreshed in the morning, ready to go for a double upload Friday. But, ladies and gentlemen, this game here started off brilliantly. Anya with a worldy strike. We've seen some really good strikes in today's episode, and this one is no different. You can see right there, top bins, mate. That's exactly what you want to see, and we actually played a part in that. We got the assist for that goal as well. And let me say this, we could have had so many more worldies in today's episode. This game alone, right, produced some absolutely sensational moments. Lawrence there hits the woodwork from a free kick. We then take the corner and have a quick look at this. Imagine the scenes if we'd have scored this one on the volley. My goodness me, we got it goalwards and it ended up coming off the top side of the crossbar. And unfortunately, it just didn't drop in. Scenes. It would have been unbelievable for that to have gone in. Unfortunately, our lead didn't last very long. Bolton had the ball in the net, but the assistant flagged for offside and gave the decision against Bolton. So we were still leading by a goal to nil up until the last 19 minutes when a good piece of football from them would cut us open, and they were able to fire it into the back of the net and make it 1-1. So, I mean, all things considered, it's a difficult place here, is Bolton, and they've got a few good players. But I think the most disappointing bit about this for Derby will be that they actually only conceded a shot. Bolton, technically speaking, barring the shot that they had for the first goal, which was disallowed, actually only had one shot, and that was the goal they scored from. So from a Derby perspective, they're going to look at this game that they've dropped points from Bolton. They're going to look at it and think, well, that's a great point gained. Problem is, Derby weren't brilliant in that second half, and that's not the greatest thing. But, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. I apologise for it being a little bit shorter again. If you did enjoy it, then I'd appreciate a like rating. As I said earlier, I apologise. I am struggling at the moment. I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm going to be back again with a double upload for you tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. If you're new around here and like what you see, the subscribe button is down below. You can click that and follow me on the channel. Until next time, guys, stay tuned for more. Adios.